Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ears to the East, where we're going to have a little bit of fun today with a little bit of a quiz, a game, if you will, because we decided every now and then, well, we occasionally just do silly episodes where we do something a bit weird, a bit different, just for a bit of fun, and this is one of those. So, these guys have no idea what this game's going to be, right? You know. Neon's face says it all. There has been no prep for this. And this is the way this is going to work. Every now and then, I'm just going to give them a little game. So today's game is very simple. I have, I believe, 20 artists in a list, and we're going to go through them in a row with a game of higher or lower. And what we're looking at is who has a higher or lower monthly listener count on Spotify. Now, before we get into it, I'm just going to say, right, so honestly, I know there's going to be loads of people immediately in the comments like, oh, those figures don't actually mean anything, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we get it. It's not like the definitive popularity contest. But this is interesting because Spotify is a platform it's one of many platforms that are popular in Japan, but it is very popular in Japan. It's popular in a lot of places around the world. It's a nice, interesting way a lot of the figures in here kind of surprised me as well. But we're going to have a look at it. So you guys, I'm going to need you to
quick question,
not cheat. Don't have Spotify open.
Is Spotify the like #1 music platform in Japan? Is that what they all go to, or is there something else?
To be honest, the thing is that there's a lot of platforms that are used here. Like you have like Line Music. So Line is a popular like messenger app. So Line Music is a very popular one. Apple Music is popular because a lot of people have Apple phones. But the funny thing is, what's interesting is considering the fact that the Apple is the most popular phone in Japan, Spotify is unusually popular given that fact, which means that I would say on a person-by-person basis, it would appear the preferences towards Spotify. So I think you've probably got a lot of people with Apple phones who still use Spotify. So,
yeah. I mean, we're at this day and age now where every Tom, Dick, and Harry has a laptop of some sort. So, I mean, it's not hard to put Spotify on it, is it?
Yeah, and you got like YouTube music and everything as well. So anyway, I just thought this was a nice one where, you know, it's
I have to admit I don't use Spotify.
That's fine.
But I have a question. Like these numbers, is it the numbers from Japan or is it worldwide?
My understanding is that these are the worldwide numbers. So this is just the Spotify figures. And this is based on basically the number of recorded listeners they have on a monthly basis. They update this on a monthly basis. And this is individual listeners, not how many times their songs have been listened to, but the number of individual people listening to that artist in any given calendar month. And of course, we are recording this in April of 2024, which will also allow you to consider that fact when trying to pick your answers. Are you
so like one person listen to the whole catalog of BAND-MAID counts the same as another person listening to just one song?
Yeah. So it's how many people have decided to go and listen to that artist in any given
I see.
Okay. So yeah, thank you for making it sound like a really dodgy metric, which it is, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, you have to consider this because I think that aspect will kind of bring out the ultra fans, and you know.
But Benedict's already trying to like get in with the comment section here, isn't he? He's already started.
I was about to say I'm the enemy before I've even asked the first one. All right, so let's dive in with some of these controversial ones that I'm sure. Don't worry, all the hate's going to go towards me, whatever you guys answer. But I will be keeping score to see who gets these right. So let's start off with our first matchup, which is Gatric Spin and Unlucky Morpheus. Who has more monthly listeners, Gatric Spin or Unlucky Morpheus? What do you guys think?
Already a really hard one, I would say.
A really hard one. I would say that maybe Gatric Spin would have more listeners in Japan, but internationally, I think Unlucky Morpheus would.
My thoughts as well.
Would tick more boxes, but that's just me guessing. I would say Unlucky Morpheus.
So
I would also say Unlucky Morpheus, yeah.
All right. Gatric Spin have recorded, and I'm going to round these figures for the sake of time. Gatric Spin have recorded 19,000 monthly listeners. Are you gonna?
No, I was gonna say. Gatric Spin have a larger back catalogue than Unlucky Morpheus, don't they? So I
They
don't
do.
know. Yeah, so I'm just thinking then if they've been around for a bit longer as well, so that might accumulate more fans over the time.
Well, but
And
it's
I'm trying,
just
no, I'm
about
trying to
the
overthink
amount
it
of
now.
people listening to the group, not the
Oh, I
actual
love it.
amount
You
of songs they're listening to.
No, I'm still going to stick with Unlucky Morpheus.
are you both sticking with Unlucky Morpheus?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Gatrick Spin have recorded approximately 19,000 monthly listeners. Unlucky Morpheus have 63,000.
Oh,
Well done. A
Christ.
point for each of you. All right. So on to our next one, which of course we've got Unlucky Morpheus. So now Unlucky Morpheus versus Nemophila. Higher or lower? Nemophila.
Nemophila, easily.
Yeah, Nemophila is higher.
Nemophila's higher, yeah?
Yeah.
I think they're just more widely known.
Yeah,
More widely
the
known?
yeah. Oh, I don't know actually, because like Nemophila, they came to probably the forefront probably through YouTube, so maybe that's where their views go primarily on the YouTube channel.
Maybe, but I also think like Nemophila did a lot of like
Yeah,
covers from really popular artists, so that
yeah.
also helps.
Again, yeah, Nemo again, really, really popular internationally, I think, as well. Oh, that's a hard one. I probably knowing the YouTube popularity of Nemophila, I would probably say Nemophila.
So you're
I
going for
will
Nemophila?
also go with Nemophila.
All right. So as I said, Unlucky Morpheus have 63,000. Nemophila. Well, all those views must be on YouTube because they have 33,000.
Ah,
Nemophila
see,
have about half as many.
okay.
Yeah, you see, that's what I was thinking a little bit. I was kind of looking at that. Was like popularity wise, I probably think that Nemo probably just tips it. But I was thinking, I was like, all those views have got to be on the YouTube side of things because that's where they're most known. That's their platform.
Are those covers on Spotify? That's the question. Probably not.
The covers and everything is on the YouTube side of things. So,
Mm.
like if you look at their YouTube numbers, they do spectacularly well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that translate into Spotify listens. So that
This
was
Hotel Coffee is
that,
amazing.
that was a hard one.
Interesting.
All right.
In my
Well,
head, like Nemophila had a much larger fan base.
Yeah, I think that Nemophila has still got the fact that they're still very much growing. I think a lot of people are still coming to know them as well, which is probably a factor in that. Well,
Yeah.
here's an interesting one though. So Nemophila against a long-standing band, but a band who's been away for quite a while and has come back as an independent. So can they hit bigger? Nemophila versus Silent Siren.
Oh,
How much did Nemophila have?
So
30,
Nemophila had 33,000.
33,000. I'm gonna guess Silent Siren, just for the fact that obviously they've just come back and there's gonna be a little bit of hype behind that. So maybe I would usually say Nemo, but I think with the hype with them coming back and probably some new songs and stuff like that, I reckon it's gonna boost their numbers a little bit over the last probably month or so. So I'm gonna go and say Silent.
What do you think?
I will agree, even though I have no idea about Spotify numbers, like how much metal compares to other genres and stuff.
Let's put it this way. I mean, yeah, basically the listening averages are pretty even on there. I think Spotify is the nearest place to get a fairly reasonable one. So you're gonna agree we're going Nemophila, are we? Nemophila?
No, I'm gonna
sorry.
go.
No, Silent Siren.
Silent Siren.
Both
Okay.
going Silent Siren.
All right, both going for Silent Siren. Well, so Nemophila have 33,000. It's not even close. Silent Siren have 153,000.
Holy shit! I didn't think it would be that much.
It's back catalogue of hits. I think that's the thing. They got a lot of big hits. But this is where it gets interesting because them versus a band who they have a very different type of hit. Silent Siren versus Razor Swilling.
Ooh.
Do Razor Swilling have more than 153,000 monthly listeners?
Oh, that's a difficult one because the anime there's going to be tons of fans.
Yeah, but I could imagine it's also more on the YouTube realm and not Spotify that much.
Again, yeah.
So I will stick with Silent Siren for this one.
I'll mix it up just for the sake of the video, and I'll go Razor Sun because I know that Moon would kill me if I didn't. So go on, I'll
So we
mix
can
it.
actually have a winner at the end.
Yeah, so we can actually have a winner. So me and Benedict go for the same ones all the time.
So Benedict's gone for Silent Siren.
Yep.
Neon's gone for Razor Swilling. Silent Siren have 153,000 monthly listeners. Razor Swilling have 93,000 listeners. I'm sorry, Benedict guessed that one. Sorry.
I knew it would be. I knew it would be up there or up there a bit, but yeah,
It
no,
was
150. Yeah, 150,000 is a lot as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
the
didn't
thing
think.
is,
I
yes,
didn't think it was going to be that much.
I think actually Neon made a great, he actually made the best point about this, and that saying I think a lot of those views probably come from either YouTube or like the anime watching spaces. I think there's probably more than people streaming and listening to their songs online. It's more part of the anime, I think, might be a reason. Because they are massively popular, which was why I was surprised that their figure was actually lower than Silent Siren, even with Silent Siren.
I think with these songs as well, again, going back to the YouTube thing, I think a lot of people are going to watch it. They probably watch it with the anime video attached to it as well. I mean, it's part of the charm a little bit as well, the visual side of it as well as the audio side. So I can see YouTube being probably the main competitor to a lot of these bands and a lot of the draw for views, I think.
I think that's probably actually quite a fair point. I mean, I do like that. I do like how before it was Benedict who was like, I don't know that this is a particularly good system, but now he's just gone 1 point ahead. He's like completely silent. It's like Neon's like, well, I don't know. YouTube is.
Well, I'm really interested to get to some like more well-known artists because I have no idea if like 150,000 is a lot.
These are pretty well-known artists as a general, but we're going to be getting onto some more familiar faces in a minute. But one thing I had to do while we were here, Razor Swillen, who we just covered, have 93,000. Is that more or less than Rosalia? I think this one might be more of a Neon-centric question.
Yeah.
So Rosalia also on Bang Dream. So this is 2 Bang Dream artists.
I think I only know one Rosalia song.
That's a hard one.
So they're the more poppy of the 2, but then again, Razor Swillen are known for their appeal for music fans.
I'm trying to take my bias out of it a little bit here because I'm like more Razor Swillen centric more than Rosalia. I like Rosalia though as well, but I'm just trying to think. I think I don't know why, but my own personal view, I want to say Raze, but at the same time, I got the sneaking feeling that Rosalia probably does better. So my gut's telling me Rosalia, my heart's telling me Razor Swillen. So I'm gonna go with my gut with this one. I'm gonna say Rosalia.
So yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
I have no idea. So I will contradict you and I will stick with Razor
Swillen. Okay, so is Benedict about to go 2 points ahead, or are you about to go back to even? So Benedict is saying that Rosalia have more listeners. Is that right? No, you're saying Razor Swillen.
I'm saying Razor Swillen.
I get it wrong every time. That's going to really help. Neon says Rosalia. Well, so Razor Swillen have 93,000 listeners. Rosalia have 143,000.
Really? Holy shit.
Yeah, quite a bit more.
Oh, you know what? I would never have guessed that. The only reason why I went for them is because obviously they're a little bit more poppy, so it would appeal to more people. I feel like off the basing it off that. Even though that killed me to pick them over Sullen because I much prefer Sullen to Rosalia.
I'm sure Loon's writing an angry comment. Yeah, number one. Really. Yeah, he's writing an angry comment now. All right, so now we're going to probably. I'm glad you two are reading because we're going to be heading into some more artists that I think you guys are going to know a bit better now. So, Rosalia or Scandal?
Chance to embarrass ourselves.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Rosalia or Scandal?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Scandal.
I want to go Scandal too.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
I actually think Rosalia might actually pip them, but Scandal's just I'm going off Scandal of like nostalgia legendary status that they've just been around.
Yeah, they like exist for a lot longer, right?
Yeah. So you kind of need to put some respect on their name a little bit here. Like
both going for Scandal? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Scandal. The thing with Scandal is that I don't think anybody like we've personally met. I wouldn't say Scandal's like been anybody's like favorite for anything.
You should say that in my community. I've got a lot of people who Scandal is the only thing.
That was risky.
But again, they've been around for so long, done so much, and just been pretty much everywhere that I find it very, very hard to believe that they wouldn't have like a massive fucking following. So yeah, I'm gonna go Scandal.
Yeah, I have to go with that too. Yeah.
Oh, my TV's decided to tune up. Sorry, that's what happens when you're in a hotel. Well, Rosalia have 143,000 monthly listeners. which is not even close to Scandal's 393,000.
Oh shit!
Ooh, holy shit!
So yeah, Scandal's in a totally different league. So yeah, you're both right. Both still even. Scandal is in the house. Yes, I dropped that reference. All right. Well, if Scandal have 393,000, is that more or less than Super Breakout, but now disbanded group BiSH?
I'm still gonna say Scandal.
Yeah, me too.
Both
I
going for
mean,
Scandal.
I only know one album by both of these groups, but BiSH, like I would say Scandal is more the widely accessible group and BiSH a bit more punky, bit more edgy.
Yeah,
I like them.
yeah.
Actually, I think I
Yeah.
like BiSH more, but I think Scandal has more listeners.
I like BiSH more than Scandal as well, but personally speaking, but yeah, I can see this as another Scandal win.
I think this is an interesting comparison because, of course, Scandal are the legends and BiSH are kind of like the oddball. But yeah, so you're saying Scandal, obviously, as the legends, 393,000 listeners, and you're both obviously saying that's more than BiSH, which is interesting because BiSH actually have 462,000 monthly listeners,
Holy shit! Really? That is
even
incredible.
despite
Okay.
breaking up.
Even despite
Now,
is that maybe like an influx of listeners because they've recently
I
broken up?
don't think it is actually. BiSH were just it's hard to explain how much of a cultural phenomenon BiSH were. They were very much a niche. Yeah, they weren't something that everyone was into, but like, you know, their various members became celebrities in their own right to a certain degree. You know, they were kind of everywhere, and they were the first anti-idol group to actually be successful in the mainstream in a way that was, you know, it really was selling on the anti-idol thing, but it was also giving people music that they could genuinely enjoy and sing along to in karaoke. So yeah, BiSH were a big deal, and still obviously clawing in a lot of listeners. So yeah, BiSH
Fair
there.
enough, man.
Man, like comparing an Unlucky Morphs and Emophila have like 30K.
Yeah,
Like,
we're getting into the big numbers now. Getting into the
yeah.
big.
Oh, we
Well,
had
this
really low numbers before.
yeah. Well, this actually raises an interesting question, though, because I said that the individual members have gone off and been quite popular. Now, you might know that Ina from BiSH had a solo career and she's been doing pretty well for herself. So the question is does Ina have more monthly listeners than BiSH?
I will say no, simply because it's just one of the members. So not everyone will be a fan.
I'll say yes. Go on, I'll break up the choice again. I'll say yes, just purely because she probably be feeding. I think she's already got an established fan base there with most of the BiSH, and I think that she could probably grab a few new ones along the way. I mean, this is just me shitballing here, so but I'm gonna say yeah.
Damn, your
To
arguments are
break it
good.
up.
I think there's also this is interesting to see the way you like digest this, and it's also interesting to see what figures we get here. Even although I know it's not like definitive, it's just really interesting. I mean, obviously, Ina's also currently active. That's an act as well. But so her against the original group. Okay, so Neon, you're saying you're going to go for Ina, and Benedict, you're sticking with BiSH, yeah?
Yep.
All right. Well, BiSH, as mentioned, have 462,000, which is nowhere near Ina's 742,000
Oh,
monthly listeners.
Damn.
oh.
That girl is super famous right
Yeah.
now.
She's on the top of her
She's
game.
skyrocketed.
Yeah. Actually, I'm trying to take like personal bias out of it, and I'm trying to look at this from like a pure logical freaking standpoint. Yeah, she's already got a built-in cooked-in fan base on top of everything else that she's doing right now. She's like the hot new thing at the minute in Japan.
But of course, the big question is that Ina is very much more popular in like Japan than she is necessarily famous in the rest of the world. Unlike our next competitor, who is really exploding on the international scene, which is HANABIE.
Ooh.
HANABIE, the
Ooh.
international breakout all over the world, or Ina, the ultra celebrity in Japan.
700,000. It's a lot. I'm not sure if HANABIE has that kind of fan base already to have that many monthly listeners. I don't think so, even though I would wish for it. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I will stick with Ina.
I would agree with Benedict on that one, actually, to be fair. As much as I really want to say HANABIE, I don't think they're quite there yet.
Yeah, we're going to go with Ina.
Yeah, both going to stick with Ina.
I'm pretty confident for this one.
Well, you're right to be confident. It's actually closer than you might think. Okay, Ina's got 742,000, but HANABIE do have 323,000.
More than I thought.
Impressive. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Considering like Nemophila at 30,000, still 1/10.
Yeah, that's quite impressive. I must say.
That is really impressive. That's about where I thought they would be, but Ina at the minute is like she's just on a different level, popular
I would
wise.
really like to see like when they went off, because like was there a certain song or something that happened, or a certain album? Was it the latest album? I don't know.
I think the latest album did a big job, because I mean, like, We Love Sweets was obviously how they kind of made themselves known to the world. But I think like the whole Pardon Me,
But I
like
think
that,
at that point they
and
didn't reach like the 100K
but
numbers.
that's one of those songs where I don't think it necessarily burst out, but I think it's been snowballing, you know, through
Yeah,
reaction
probably.
videos, through like they were touring internationally at the time. And I think they've just, rather than just suddenly like one of those things where just 1 week everyone is listening to them, I think it's one of those things where it's maybe snowballed over a year very quickly. But yeah, you're both right. HANABIE is not quite as much, but here's the big question. HANABIE is quite impressive with 323,000.
We had a couple of big questions already.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's a big question. Is that more or less than BAND-MAID?
Ooh.
I will have to say BAND-MAID. BAND-MAID.
Look on Leon's face. Leon looked like I stabbed him in the foot. Oh,
HANABIE or BAND-MAID. Yeah, probably BAND-MAID, I would say internationally. Although I'm not sure. I'm just trying to think now, and I'm thinking again. I'm trying to factor in like YouTube and stuff into this, and where I think the listens may be. But
I mean,
yeah,
but I would also say like their music in general, it's just more
Yeah.
widely accessible than HANABIE, because they have screams and it's pretty extreme, like
Yeah.
metalcore-ish stuff. And BAND-MAID, yeah.
I agree. It's hard not to say BAND-MAID on this one, although I think it's going to be closer than we think.
Probably.
It's probably closer than you think. So HANABIE 323,000, and BAND-MAID, who you both picked, 231,000.
What?
Oh,
Less than HANABIE.
That really surprised me as well. I think
I was really sure about that.
I'm gonna put an unpopular theory out here and say that part of that might be the fact that HANABIE have been touring in Europe.
So
BAND-MAID, come to Europe if you want more viewers or more listeners.
Oh, wow, that hurt deep.
I think there is also a lot to be said for the fact that, I mean, Benedict mentioned about like HANABIE being less accessible because of the metals at the scream side, which I would personally maybe initially agree with. But I think there's also an aspect that, I mean, you asked at the beginning whether Spotify skews towards or away from metal. I think there's an argument to be said that maybe it skews towards metal a bit, because you think about the sort of people who watch YouTube and watch music videos. I think it's less of a metal thing. I think it tends to be more associated with more colorful sort of poppy genres. That's my feeling, might be a stereotype.
Yeah.
Whereas I think metal listeners are more likely to just sort of slam on the audio only. So, which is ironic, because HANABIE has some pretty awesome videos, but that's just a guess there. I think BAND-MAID, probably a lot of their views are going to other platforms.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that was close. Again, the overall unpopularity of BAND-MAID, I actually thought they probably take this, although they're not getting as many views on Spotify than HANABIE is. Not that surprising as well at the same time.
By the way, just before I ask this next one, do either of you have your wills already prepared? Do you have like a last will and testament prepared in advance before I ask this question?
What's going on?
Oh God. Come on, just get it over with. Here we go.
BAND-MAID or Love Bites?
Oh,
I think, unfortunately, Love Bites will have less.
I like how you did that. You voted against one, but then also gave them favor, which I don't know if that's going to make everyone like you or everyone hate you equally.
I will keep it vague.
So you're saying Love Bites have less. So you're saying
Yes.
BAND-MAID have more.
I'm going to say Love Bites have more.
Okay, so Benedict is going for BAND-MAID. Neon is going for Love Bites. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's nowhere near as close as I thought it would be. It's very, very far apart. BAND-MAID
My guess is that Love Bites really have not as many as you think.
Well, BAND-MAIDs have 230,000,
Maybe I'm totally
as we
wrong.
discussed. So 230,000 for BAND-MAID, yeah? Love Bites, 31,000.
I knew it.
Holy crap. That's lower than I
Yeah.
thought.
It's really, that really shocked me. I kind of figured it would
Yeah.
be, I mean, I kind of figured that BAND-MAID would have more, but I was really surprised when it turned out that it was that much of a difference. So I do wonder, that one's an interesting one. I'd love to, and always I want people to get in the comments and tell us what they think about these as well.
Yeah, you don't think it because everyone you see reacting to or hearing Love Bites is like, yeah, they're so amazing, but somehow they are not that widely known still.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's one of those groups who I think they probably actually do fit more into the category that you were saying of maybe metal groups who are only for like certain type of like niche metalers. I think, you know, maybe they have got something which is a little bit too specific to have the broad.
I would say it's promotion issues with
True.
I don't think they're advertised or portrayed and pushed as well as these other bands like HANABIE and like BAND-MAID is internationally and stuff like that. I think that's a big problem for them.
Probably also a lot of views go to YouTube and stuff.
Well, I did actually say when I did that video a few years ago about how bands could most effectively break out of Japan, I did say that, like it or hate it, having a somewhat crazy image or a juxtaposition of image can be very helpful. In fact, it can be really key, not because it's what you rely on, but because it turns heads. And I think HANABIE have
Notice
an
how
image.
he's dancing around the word gimmick.
Well, I always used to use the word gimmick because I quite like the word gimmick, but everyone was like, "You can't say gimmick." But I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
I know.
yeah." Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, having a good gimmick, and I think HANABIE is like their whole image is so like crazy and bizarre, and yeah, it has the occasional gimmicks and just the sort of cute madness. It's a lot like what made BABYMETAL initially. So yeah, had to throw it in there. So here's the next question. This is a really weird mashup, but Love Bites or Kyari Pami Pami?
God, you've really set Love Bites up to fail here, haven't you?
I mean,
you've really
I'm not
shafted
sure,
Love Bites
because
completely.
I think KPP is popular in Japan, but I don't think a lot of people know it outside of Japan.
Well, with the numbers being 30,000 for Love Bites, I can't not look at this and not think that Kami Pami is more popular.
I think I have to agree.
So we're all going for Kyari.
As much as it hurts.
Yeah, as much like as soon as you said that, I was like, "Fuck me, you really shafted them." You couldn't pick BABYMETAL or something like at least like honorable to lose to.
Hey! Oh my god!
Hey, Kyari Pami Pami is great too. I like it.
If anything, I think the point to make here is that I think it's important to kind of like have a look at these things and remember that sometimes the bands we like are not as maybe getting as much attention as we think. And so we look at a band like Love Bites. I think sometimes because you get a lot of very vocal Love Bites fans online, and maybe sometimes the community is very much out there. I think sometimes people think it's bigger than it is, but in actuality, this is a group who probably need a little bit more support from the wider community.
They need a
touring and stuff. Yeah, exactly. And this year they are touring.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be there for them, Neon. You're going to be there for them in London.
Well, the problem is I'm in a gig with London, and I freaking can't wait for that. But it's like a
wait. Did they already release like tour dates for?
Yeah. They're
like in more than the 2 countries that we had before.
As far as I'm not too sure, but as far as I know, but that's such a pathetic thought. I know they tour. I know they're doing festivals and shit like that as well around that time, but like you said, Love Bites like tour wise.
As soon as they're in Germany, I will get a ticket.
All right. Well, you were talking about Honorable and BABYMETAL. Well, Kyari Pami Pami and her 548,000 listeners will now honorably go up against BABYMETAL.
Oh gosh. I can see what you've done here. You're an evil motherfucker. I can see how you've maliciously planned this out.
I would still say Baby Metal because Baby Metal is a worldwide phenomenon, and I think Kiri Pami Pami is not.
Well, Pon 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 came out and was like one of the first Japanese viral. I think it kind of almost is the definitive Japanese viral pop song. Obviously, Baby Metal have the definitive viral metal song in Gimme
But
Chocolate.
also YouTube, you know.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like Kiari's video on YouTube was like big, really broke out. And actually, I think it was the same year, 2012. So yeah, there was a Kiari and Baby Metal pretty much at the same time broke out with pretty viral qualities, one for pop and one for metal. But who has the largest number of monthly listeners?
Personally, I think it's Baby Metal, but again, for shits and giggles, I'm gonna go with Kyrie.
I will.
Oh,
I have to go for Baby Metal.
Oh, okay. All right. So Benedict is going with Baby Metal. Neon is going with Japan's.
I think this will be. I think
Kyari
this will be the first artist we probably see that's probably in the millions.
548,000 for Kyari Pami Pami. Baby Metal have 2,115,000. 2,115,000. Yeah. So yeah, ironically, I think that again, Neon, when he's wrong, he's right. It's like the first one.
Oh no, I knew it was gonna be that. I literally called that. I was like, Baby Metal gonna be in the millions, but for fucking stating the video, it would be boring if me and Benedict picked the same things over and over.
Damn.
Well, as you are all into punishment today, Neon, how about Baby Metal versus LiSA?
Ooh.
Is LiSA that popular?
She's massive, mate. She's like
She's the anime theme.
She is like the
okay.
she is like the Avril Lavigne of fucking Japan. She is just massive.
We got 7 minutes left, by the way, so we're gonna.
I know.
We're gonna boy.
Yeah. But LiSA's not just popular in Japan though. She is like pretty much all the East. She is huge.
Well, I don't know LiSA that much, so I'll stick with Baby Metal.
That's a really hard one. Again, for shits and giggles of this video, I'll go LiSA. I don't think she's quite at Baby Metal's level in terms of numbers, but I think she'll be pretty close.
Neon's going for LiSA, and Benedict's going for Baby Metal. Well, I'm glad to say it wasn't even close. So Baby Metal have 2,115,000. LiSA has 3,972,000. That surprised me. I mean, I knew she was popular.
Really have to check out LiSA.
She's brilliant.
All right,
I've been saying this to you two for ages now.
I know. We're gonna shotgun the last. We got 3 more to go. We're gonna shotgun them. Okay.
Okay.
So LiSA or YOASOBI?
LiSA.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna say LiSA again. YOASOBI is one of those difficult ones that, like, popularity wise, like, they're big quite in not just Japan, like around that area, so they're gonna get a shit ton of listens.
But remember, the song Idol came out, so the song Idol, which was massive in the charts. Do you think that would sway it?
I'm still gonna say LiSA.
Both saying LiSA?
Okay, I will change to YOASOBI.
There you go.
Oh, Benedict's gonna go for YOASOBI? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so LiSA has 3,972,000 listeners. YOASOBI only have 8,767,000.
Damn.
Now, as we're getting into the crazy figures, YOASOBI or ex-Japan?
Oh, I'm gonna go YOASOBI on this one.
Yeah, same.
I love ex-Japan, but see, I can only base this off seeing their numbers on YouTube, which doesn't do well at all. But that doesn't mean that necessarily translates to other things. And ex-Japan, again, is like legendary. It's like scandal legendary status. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm going to retract that. I've talked myself into it. I'm going to go ex-Japan.
You're going to go for ex-Japan?
Yeah.
But I mean, how long, like, when did they last put something out?
Good question.
I don't know. Anyway, I will stick with the YOASOBI.
All right, okay, so YOASOBI 8,767,000. Ex-Japan 306,000.
Oh, that's not surprising, to be honest. Like, the
Yeah,
way that was bigged
yeah.
up, I was like, oh, maybe
Yeah, but
legendary. That kind of
I
like.
thought at least in the
Alright.
millions.
Two more. Okay, ex-Japan or AKB?
I'm not familiar.
I'm not familiar with AKB, to be fair.
The group who basically started the modern idol movement, or ex-Japan, the most famous of the.
No,
the
yeah, I
bands.
know, I know.
I mean, I heard that name a lot of
I know,
times.
yeah, I know who they are, but I don't know nothing about what I think their numbers may be. I'm coming to this one completely blind. I'm gonna go AKB. I just think they're gonna have more numbers. Ex Japan.
Neon's
Then I
going
will
for.
go I would say ex-Japan.
All right, Neon's going for AKB. Benedict's going for ex-Japan. Ex-Japan have 306,000. AKB have 684,000. There we go.
Ooh,
And final one, who has more, AKB or ANO?
I'll go with I know. The way there's no way in hell you're ending this list without trying to show Anno off at the very least. So I'm gonna say that.
I know, 500 million.
They're all me. I hope there's
Yeah.
a lot of counts. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to go with Anno too.
I'm glad I'm predictable because AKB 684,000, ANO 1,074,000.
This
That's
is
the end of.
this is a typical Howard list. Shafted love bites while fucking like
Hey,
putting Anno in fucking shining lights. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I'm glad
Good
you
on
said
you,
that.
buddy.
I'm glad you said that because in the final analysis, after all of that, Benedict wins by 1 point.
He went for all the safe answers.
It is true. I did like that.
What
At
does
least
that
two of the
mean?
ones which you got wrong, you actually explained the reason why
I
your
know.
answer was wrong before you went for it. But so this was as we
Neon
like
is the winner of hearts.
Exactly. I can add that to my collection of none.
his triumphant failure.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the kind of silly fun games which just basically have a little bit of an insight, and I've got some more crazy ones. This was just a nice fun one to start us off with, but there's some good ideas I got for some silly things coming up. If you guys at home enjoy the idea of us doing some silly little episodes like this, let us know. As always, as mentioned, don't take this too seriously because these are the biggest from Spotify. You can take from them what you will.
I
And
don't
I'm
even have
interested to know-
Spotify.
This would be interesting on
Exactly.
like a YouTube episode or something as well, like, to compare numbers. Because again, it's really hard. It's hard to come into these bands when you're comparing them like logistically and like what you kind of feel in your heart a little bit because you want something
Mhm.
to be better than the other.
I am considering maybe getting some music videos, but I'm not going to go for the obvious ones because otherwise you guys will have time to pre-research. I'm considering getting individual songs and putting them against each other. But yes, I think this is. Tell me how many you guys at home think you got right. See, I'm doing the YouTube thing where I ask people to engage with the video. So let us know at home how many you got right, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, let us know. We'll do some more silly things. All these little games are going to be totally different, totally silly, and just for a bit of an interesting insight.
Yeah, if you like this
All
game,
right,
like I said, smash a like. Don't forget to subscribe as well. We really appreciate it. We've seen a lot of influx of subs like recently, which has been absolutely amazing. I'm not going to keep you for too long.
No.
Yeah, no. Go on, Benedict. It's been a while since you did the outro. Come on, man.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, he did it. He did it.
He did it. Do the
You
outro.
you can do the outro, Benedict. You can do the
It's been a
outro.
while.
Is it put or keep your ears?
Keep.
Keep, okay. Keep your ears to the east.
I'm off to go and listen to some love bites on Spotify, boost the numbers.
Yes.
Bye.